Hi everyone, with me here is a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado. This one is powered by the 3-liter inline-6 turbo diesel. It makes 277 horsepower and 460 pounds-feet of torque. That is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This one's an RST trim. It's pretty middle of the pack. Sticker's about $57,000. So let's do a little tour and then take it out for a drive. Silverado was last redesigned for the 2019 model year, and it hasn't really seen many changes since. The diesel was added to the lineup, at least as far as the half-ton truck goes. The diesel was added to the lineup for the 2020 model year. This thing has pretty good fuel economy ratings from the EPA, at least. It's rated at 22 city, 26 highway, and 24 combined. I was actually at the launch event for the Silverado 1500 diesel in Bend, Oregon last year, and they put us on a loop where they encouraged us to try to get the best fuel economy we possibly could. I only managed the high 20s, but some people were seeing numbers as high as 36 mpg, I think. That's crazy though. You have to be somewhat talented to eke that kind of fuel economy out of this thing, even though it is a diesel. Something kind of cool around back here is that you can release the tailgate via the key fob here. It's really nicely damped as well. Upper trim levels of the Silverado have a power closing tailgate, which is pretty neat. This one doesn't have a spray-in bed liner or anything, although that's available from the factory. I did use it to haul some junk to the dump this weekend, and it came in handy like any full-size truck would. You can see there's a AC power inverter right there with 3 prongs, a couple tie-down points, some LED lighting just at the back of the bed here. Beyond that, pretty simple, nothing too fancy. Tailgate's pretty light, and just that nice damping makes it really easy to close, effortless. The Silverado comes with these clever steps integrated into the corners of the bumper there. Other automakers have their fancy solutions. Ford has its step that pops out of the tailgate. GMC has the Multi-Pro tailgate, which is coming to the Silverado next year, I believe. But this is just a simple solution here. It doesn't get in the way. You don't have to kick it out like you do the step on the Nissan Titan. It's just simple, and it works. I like it. This one has the Z71 package, so it has some mild all-terrain tires, slightly beefier suspension components. I believe there's some additional skid plating underneath, but there isn't a hardcore off-road trim level for the Silverado. The Trail Boss is mainly an appearance package with a small lift and available all-terrain tires, but it doesn't really gain any mechanical features that improve its capability off-road like you can get on the Ford F-150 and Ram 1500. They're still using these little chrome buttons for the passive keyless entry system. They feel a little bit cheap. So this is a diesel, so you'll notice when I press the start button, there will be a slight pause before the engine actually turns over. So while GM completely changed the exterior styling for the Silverado for 2019 and changed around its powertrain options, they really didn't do much to the interior, and I wouldn't call this interior nice. It feels kind of cheap. The design is just uninspired. It's certainly utilitarian. I imagine it's pretty durable, but considering what you can get in the Ford F-150, and especially considering what you can get in the Ram 1500, this interior is a step behind. Plenty functional. There's a lot of storage space here. You do get a USB-C port, 12-volt outlet, USB-A, and a 3-prong AC outlet there. Center console has plenty of storage in it. It's pretty standard fare for a full-size truck. Some more ports there, cup holders. Can't get underneath the center console here, but there are some storage compartments on the side of it. Column shifter. I do notice the touch points in this truck feel cheap. They really didn't even make an effort to make it feel nice. Even the stuff that you're going to be touching on a daily basis, like the turn signal stocks. You kind of bend them and snap them into place. And they wiggle. Truck guys take pride in accepting lower quality stuff sometimes, but I really don't think they should, especially when you can get higher quality components from the competition for the same price. I just don't get how this is acceptable for GM's trucks. Anyway, let's check out the back seat. Plenty of space in the second row. These full-size trucks tend to offer huge second row legroom in their crew cab body styles, and the Silverado is no exception. I will say it's a little bit smaller than I remember the F-150 feeling. Still plenty big for 3 people to sit across. You've got another USB-A, USB-C, and 12-volt outlet. Cup holders on the back of the center console there. Some air vents. Cup holders in the fold-out center armrest. Some lights up above. No sunroofs in this one, although there are depressions for sunroofs, you'll notice. Oh boy. That's funny, I've never seen anything like that before. It's like it's taunting you for not getting the sunroof by showing you where the sunroof would go if you had gotten it. Big grab handles on the B pillars there. Door handles are pretty chunky. Apparently, this one has child locks on. Here we go. This thing definitely has a smell. I guess that's the diesel exhaust. It's not that pleasant. I can just see the comments rolling in. Redline's at 5,100 RPM. There's 55-ish miles per hour. So it isn't exactly fast. Obviously these half-ton diesel trucks these days are about low-end torque, and some people just like the way diesel trucks drive, I guess. So I'm not gonna stand here and act like I'm completely qualified to speak to the merits of the diesel engines in these full-size trucks. I know they're a little bit better with regard to towing, the way they drive while towing. Fuel economy is definitely better. I mean, this thing's rated at 26 highway by the EPA. That's pretty impressive, especially if you do a lot of highway driving. Fuel range is pretty good from these as well, given that higher fuel economy. They sound cooler, I guess. I just can't get over how cheap these turn signals feel. I mean, if the turn signal feels this cheap, what are you not seeing that is also extremely cheap? Start-stop's kind of funny in this vehicle. It's a loud diesel engine, and then it just shuts off when you're at a red light. And it's back on. Suspension feels pretty good, actually, even though we're driving with absolutely nothing in the bed. Steering wheel feels nice, I guess. It's leather wrapped. Since this is an RST package, it has a blacked out bow tie emblem on the steering wheel, and the emblems on the front and rear are also blacked out. Yeah, you definitely get the diesel experience from this truck. It sounds loud, lots of low-end torque. So, as of right now, General Motors offers its full-size truck with a diesel engine, at least in this half-ton 1500 trim. Ford offers the F-150 with a diesel. Ram has been offering a diesel in the 1500 for a number of years now. It seems like these light-duty diesels are here to stay. Handled those speed bumps pretty nicely. Some trucks I've driven over this stretch of road have actually bucked over those speed bumps. If you don't hit them going really, really slowly, it feels like the back tires lift up off the ground. It's kind of disconcerting. But no, this thing felt good. Yeah, even the column shifter isn't nice to operate by any means. So there's your look at the 2021 Chevrolet Silverado with the 3-liter Duramax diesel engine. I'm starting to understand the appeal of these half-ton trucks with these light-duty diesel engines. You know, you start this thing up and you get that heavy-duty truck experience, They have lots of low-end torque, they sound kind of cool, and they get pretty impressive highway fuel economy. This one's rated at 22 city, 26 highway, and 24 combined, and I'm sure there are many owners out there who have seen significantly better than those figures in their own day-to-day driving. So that's certainly a reason to pick up one of these trucks. As far as materials and design and things like that, that's the kind of thing I tend to look at when I review a vehicle, and I gotta say the Silverado feels a level below in those regards. Ford F-150 gets a full redesign for 2021, and while its interior was feeling a little bit dated in its previous generation, the new one feels modern, has lots of smart features, it uses good materials. Ram 1500 has a really nice interior as well. That's clearly one of the things Ram focused on in redesigning the Ram. They wanted to offer the nicest interior in the segment, and I think they've certainly achieved that. Silverado here is, like I said before, I wouldn't call it nice. When they redesigned this thing, they didn't really touch the interior. Now, rumor has it that for the 2022 model year, GM's full-size trucks will receive the new interior from GM's full-size SUVs, those being the Chevrolet Tahoe and GMC Yukon. Those interiors look great, frankly, and if they were to make their way into these full-size trucks, then I think these would be a much, much more compelling offering than they are in their current form. Given that this is a truck video, there will inevitably be comments criticizing me for daring to criticize the interior of a full-size truck. All I am doing is advocating for you as the consumer. Car companies want to charge you as much as they possibly can while giving you as little as possible. That's how it works. That's how business works. My role as a journalist is to call out areas where they've cut corners, and all I'm doing in criticizing the Silverado here is calling out areas where GM looks to save money while hoping that you won't notice. So that's my perspective on interior and design and things like that. I think in a lot of these vehicles you get less than you do from the competition, and my role as a journalist is to call that out and advocate for you as the consumer to get as much for your dollar as you possibly can. So on that note, hey, GM's been building trucks for over a century now. These things are plenty competent. They'll get the job done. Any of these full-size trucks will get the job done. I think in a lot of ways then, the way you compare them to one another is with regard to interior and little things like that. But these trucks are 90-95% the same, whether you buy them from Ford, GM, or Ram. Therefore, it's the little things like interior stuff that matters to me. Thanks for watching.